So what is migration? Well, migration is the large-scale movement of animals from one location to another, usually due to seasonal changes. Of course, when we say seasonal changes, there are a number of different factors that go into this, such as temperature change, food availability, and daylight hours. Now, typically these things will coincide with each other, as winter generally brings about a scarcity of food. The range at which species will migrate will vary greatly. If you consider something like the Canadian goose, they will simply move from the north of America down towards the south, or flying south for the winter. Whereas if you look at the Arctic tern, they will quite literally fly from the Arctic to Antarctica, or in other words, fly from pole to pole. A round trip which covers approximately 43,000 miles. Of course, this seasonality also includes breeding habits. If we consider salmon, for example, a classic example at that, they will spawn in freshwater, swim out to the ocean, which is saltwater, and then return to these freshwater lakes when they want to spawn. And as I'm sure many of you are aware, migration isn't without its risks. If we take salmon, for example, they're often made tasty snacks by bears when they're travelling up and downstream. Another example includes the Christmas Island red crab, which has to circumnavigate traffic, often being crushed in the process during the migration period. That is a brief introduction into migration. During this week, we will look at the particular factors that go into it, such as the seasonality changes, looking at specific examples, and looking more closely at the dangers that impact migration.